Hey, what's going on, you dumb cumster diving dingleberries? Welcome to Grunt Speak.
Live from the lair.
Gleep, glop, and floop-de-doo at your service with Digital Dave, not in this house, but his house. And he's got his fleece kimono is on. Yeah, he's all comfy.
Gotcha.
Why is it a fleece kimono? Could just be a bathrobe. It's exactly what it looks like. Look like you're going out to get somebody else's mail, going commando underneath someone else's fatigues.
Hey, man, I'm just ready to party all the time.
I got you.
Whatever works for you.
Now, we're covering a subject today that's very unsavory, so I might gag a couple times.
And apparently there were some people in the chat who are unfamiliar with the Cootie juices video because they were like, well, what's this all about? Cootie juices are just pee. If she scores, she's peeing on you, bro. Well, first of all, that's not entirely true. But if you missed out on this, then now's as good a time as any.
I don't want your Cootie juice on my dishes. Cootie juices on my dishes. I can't do it. I can't. Cootie juices on my dishes. Cootie juices on my dishes. Cootie juices on my dishes. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it.
That shit
never gets old, man.
Amazing.
Holy crap.
There's a backstory to this. Apparently, this chick's roommate decided to use her magic bullet, and then I don't know if she washed it or not, but she left it to dry on the drying mat next to the dishes that everybody eats off of. So it's
I would be a little upset at that myself.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's like keeping a toilet brush in your sink when you wash your dishes.
Well, it's just convenient to have it there in case I need to brush my hair. What's left of it, since I've been brushing it with shit. I think it's bad for my follicles.
Oh my God.
Oh
man.
Hilarious. It's just gnarly, bro. Absolutely gnarly. And we got one hell of a show for you tonight, man. This is going to be pure comedy gold from start to finish. Before we get into the really gross stuff, I think it's important that we point out that AI has finally helped scientists figure out what everyone has already known basically since we started communicating.
But there's no white people on it on Google.
There's no white people on Google. Yeah, they already had to retire that AI engine because they're like, oh, this is a little too woke.
Yeah.
Yeah, good times. So here it is. You'll never guess what they found out. The brains of men and women operate differently.
No.
And they've shown this for the first time in a breakthrough that shows that sex does matter and how people think and behave.
Oh my Lord.
Wow.
So
I never knew that.
If a woman has had enough penises run through her where you can stack them up and make a ladder to take her into low orbit, that's too many penises and your brain is broken.
A little bit. I love this. We've literally been here the entire time. So this is this is hilarious. So how did they figure this out? There's never been any definitive proof, as if we really needed definitive proof to see something that we objectively witness every waking moment of our lives.
Well, like men and women, like men use the single E and double E discount.
Yeah.
And what that means is sale and free because men are logical.
Yep.
Women see, the E discount as believe and feel.
Yeah.
Those are completely different.
Amen to that. And that's basically what it boils down to here. Stanford University has shown that it is possible to tell the sexes apart based on activity in hotspot areas. They include the default mode network, an area of the brain that thought to be the neurological center for self and is important in introspection and retrieving personal memories. The limbic system is also implicated, which helps regulate emotion, memory, and deals with sexual stimulation, and striatum, which is important in habit forming and rewards. Okay, so the parts of the brain that regulate sex and emotion and self-control. Oh, man. They actually used AI to spot shit that I think that they were deliberately ignoring, to be completely honest.
Well, first of all, let's be honest about AI. It is man-made.
Yes.
It will be subject to all of the flaws men have, except it's not an evil hairless monkey. It's an evil, hairless monkey consciousness.
Yes. Which is scary.
Yeah.
So the model was shown MRI scans of working brains and told whether it was looking at a man or a woman. Over time, the neural network began to pick out subtle differences between the two sexes that had been missed by humans or ignored. When the researchers tested the model on about 1,500 brain scans, the model was able to tell if the scan came from a man or a woman more than 90% of the time.
Wow. So there are subtle differences.
Yep. Well, they did this other experiment too. They put a whole bunch of people into a room together And then they just took away their phones. They took away all stimuli.
Mhm.
And then when it was over, they asked the men what they were thinking about, and they asked the women what they were thinking about. Men, sex and sports. Women
Okay.
were replaying conversations they already had.
Oh,
It's almost like we're different.
that's probably why women love drama so much, because they keep replaying it over in the back of their heads.
Oh, I should have said that.
Well, most dudes are like, yeah, that's fucked up. Want a beer?
Move on.
Shocker. Oh, man. And then it feeds directly into this next story here, which is hilarious. And we're going to play this video in its entirety, but this is bottom line is people are going to war in the comments of this video explaining why girls dump their boyfriends.
Here we go.
This is probably going to get Pop all nice and spun up. So I already told him, like, let the video play through, write down notes at the stuff that pisses you off, and then we'll go back through it step by step. So I love this. Earlier, we published a story about scientists who prove men and women's brains are different, but all they really needed to do was watch this video. And of course, it's posted by somebody who just believes all women. She's right, and this information is valuable. A woman loses interest when she no longer finds you attractive and inside of a relationship that primarily happens after multiple ignored attempts at telling you what she needs from you. I put needs in quotes because, as we all know, women love to confuse wants and needs.
Okay, now how long is this video?
It's about 2 minutes.
Okay, I will shut my mouth.
All right. Just if you have not yet poured a menagerie, dudes, you may need it.
If you are a boy who has ever been dumped by your girlfriend for seemingly no apparent reason and you're looking for answers, this is what happened. Okay, this is you guys. You guys are in a happy relationship, and now all of a sudden you have one simple, fixable problem. For this example, we're going to use no good morning text. And your girlfriend who loves you, she's really happy with you. She comes to you and she tells you, she's like, hey, do you think we could start doing good morning texts? Like, it'd mean a lot to me if you text me good morning. So you, her loving boyfriend, agree to give her good morning texts. But something happened, and for whatever reason, you stopped giving her good morning texts. So now we have a bigger problem. She now thinks that you don't care enough about her to send her good morning texts, even though she asked. But she's going to be like, you know what? This is still kind of a small problem. I'm just going to remind him. She reminds you. You're like, oh my gosh, that's right. I did agree to that. Okay, I will text you good morning. Unfortunately, though, you didn't follow through again. Now we have confirmed that you do not care enough to text her good morning, even though this is a simple, fixable problem. This is now a big problem. So now your girlfriend, who has never picked fights before in her life, starts picking a bunch of little fights about all these different things because she believes that you do not care enough. Through all of these picking fights with you, though, she still loves you and likes you enough to want to be with you, even though you guys have all these little problems now. Until one day, these become unattractive to her. She's going to realize that all of these little things that you do that remind her that you don't care about her enough are unattractive. And so now the problem is not these things. It's not even that you don't care enough. It's not even that she never got good morning texts. It's that she literally does not like you anymore. Does not like you. Now, unfortunately, she has to break up with you. And then you're going to ask her why. And she's going to list out all the reasons why she has to break up with you. And you are going to say, no, you should not break up with me because of those reasons, because from now on, I am going to do all of these things. And you will never have to worry about me never doing these things again because I'm going to do them every single day. But remember, it doesn't even matter if you were to do all of these things anymore, because the problem now is that she's unattracted to you and just simply does not like you anymore. And now she's going to go move on with her life, and you're going to go and tell your friends that you got dumped by absolutely no reason and that you guys all hate her and that she's crazy for dumping you over something so simple. But in reality, she never dumped you at all. This was a slow moving process that eventually led to the final reason, and you weren't dumped. You probably actively chose not to give her what she said she needed, and now you guys aren't together anymore. Sorry.
Now, I want to call attention to the shit that she writes down that she claims are bigger problems. Okay? Didn't compliment my haircut. Didn't remember my dog's birthday. 5 minutes late to dinner. And of course, left dishes in the sink. Yeah, these are big. It's not that we don't care about you. It's that you can never let little shit go.
There's that.
I love being talked down to.
And what about the dude?
Exactly.
Like, literally,
Please
the
emasculate me.
dude in this relationship is walking on eggshells, which is not conducive to your peace.
No.
All right. She wants to now listen how stupid this is. She picks little fights with you to get you to like her more.
No, she picks little fights with you to get you to alter your behavior.
Yeah.
To an attempt to get you to alter your sense of self to make her feel more secure. That is manipulation. And what's that word? It's 2 syllables, starts with an A, ends with an E. Abuse.
Abuse.
That is psychological abuse.
Here's another thing, dudes. Even if you jump through these hoops of fire and you don't backslide and you keep doing them, right? It doesn't really matter. Because she's going to lose respect for you anyway. And then the other bubble that she didn't write about is you're not the same man I married, or you're not the same man when we started dating, because she fucking changed him.
Yeah.
Now she's unattracted to him.
Exactly.
My advice to you, gentlemen.
That's why it doesn't work. You either do all of this stuff and she loses respect for you, or you don't do all that stuff and she gets frustrated.
Yeah. And she leaves. But you know what? If she leaves, you know what you still have? Your fucking dignity and self-respect.
Boom.
God.
Women who can let shit go don't wind up at everyone's favorite place.
Yes.
And we all know exactly where it is now, don't we? Get your drinking straws ready.
Stop! Don't touch me there. This is my no-no square. Stop!
Suck a dick! Maybe if you did that a little bit more often, he'd be more willing to send you good morning texts.
Here's the
You spitter.
I'm 55, and I talk to a lot of women that I used to know in my past.
Yeah.
And some of these ladies, I got the business because of the little details that I refused to, go with. And now here we are. They are smack dab in the first 1/3 of Boxwine and Catland, and they're desperately trying to, recycle relationships or friendships from the past.
Yep.
And listen, when a man gets to a certain age and he gets used to being in a peaceful situation with tranquility, and you want to pull him out of there for some walled out, stalled out stuff that had been served up to every dude that came through the counter at 31 flavors with every goddamn topping on it. And he says, I'm good. I don't need that. It's full of preservatives and all kinds of nasty stuff. I'm leaving. See ya. I'll make my own ice cream at home. Winning.
Don't get me started on making food at home with what we're about to get into. Because one of the things that I did not get into with the upcoming, I don't even know what you want to call it, buffet, is a breast milk ice cream.
Oh!
So that's another thing that the ladies are making now. But before we even get into that, you know how you are very fond of the term flowchart of insanity?
Yeah.
Feast your eyes. This is it.
Yeah.
This is the flowchart of insanity, where she admits that it's a simple, fixable problem. But then, of course, or should I say, but of course, it's entirely on him to fix it. It's not up to her to let it go because it's a simple, fixable problem. It's entirely on the guy. And even though she admits it's a small issue, they blow it up in their heads and then use that to pick more fights that are also bullshit. And how is this not psychological abuse?
You're absolutely correct. And here's another thing, gentlemen. Why relationships fail. The woman has to need you, not want you. But the way our whole civilization is set up, they don't need you anymore. They got daddy government giving them all the shit that they...
Yeah. She has to need you, and you have to not need her. It's weird, but that's exactly how it's supposed to work.
Yeah.
That's the only way it can work. Because if she sees you as... If she sees herself as your only option, well, I can probably do better then.
Yes.
And then, they go water other people's grass with their squirty juices.
The cootie juice.
Cootie juices on my dishes. Oh man, the people in the comments here, they weren't having it either. This is
Well, what about
hilarious.
just the level of emotional maturity there? It's like you're literally saying, I'm not going to directly address an issue.
Yep.
I'm going to be passive aggressive. I'm going to deflect from an issue, and then I'm going to point at you as the problem. It's gaslighting at its finest.
Exactly. Yeah, I love this. This chick, Andrea Gomez, this is a master class in how to be a single woman with cats. Other women calling this chick out. This is her explaining why women are very difficult to have relationships with, even professional relationships. And then this chick says, it's not. Like, she draws a chart about her collection of secret reasons she's turned off, all of which stem from her suspicion that a guy is dropping the ball on good morning texts twice, meaning he doesn't value her. This isn't how guys operate, which makes it much easier to work with guys.
Correct. Like, if a dude values you, you will know it, because he will literally move heaven and earth for you.
He will make time.
Yes.
If a man makes time, he gives a shit.
Mm-hmm.
I've had some women in the past that I dated for short amounts of time that literally got upset because I didn't open the door for them. And literally, like, shortly thereafter, I just quit calling them.
Mm-hmm. Bye-bye.
Look, I'm not that guy. You want to have a simstitute? I'm not that guy. I'm sorry.
Yeah. There's a metaphor in the new pop culture, which has already been released for supporters, just so everybody knows. If you guys are wondering why you haven't seen it yet, you'll have to wait until Monday, or you can become a supporter on Locals, Subscribestar, Odyssey, etc. Speaking of which, I still have to post it to Odyssey. Sorry, blankets. But we were talking about how dating now in the modern age is like having a really shitty boss who not only expects you to do your job to the absolute best of your ability, they expect you to do some of their job. And then even if you meet the goals, you meet the standards, and everything is textbook, they can still fire you because they're not happy with your performance.
The ultimate excuse.
Yep.
Just like, I'm not happy with your performance.
Exactly.
I'm not happy with how you look. I'm not happy with how much money you make. And the list goes on and on. And somebody just gave me the title for another pop culture called Simp Fixable.
Outstanding.
I'm going to start working on it. Simp Fixable. And it's going to be basically a bunch of behaviors that women want men to do to make, to attempt to make them happy.
Yes.
So if you guys have any ideas, email me to redonkulas12@gmail.com.
That's a great idea. I think we know what you're doing for your supporters stream this Sunday.
Yes, we're gonna be going. If you're a supporter, we're gonna be going through this subject and get as many ideas from the supporters as we can.
Oh yeah. Oh, by the way, new pop culture: 16 lies dick thinkers believe,
and they're all true.
Oh man,
God, and I made half the mistakes myself.
I think it's one of the best we've ever done. It came together beautifully.
Is it the chef's kiss?
Just like this video here. I mean, when you look at the entitlement of the woman who made that video,
yes,
you have to wonder, well, like, as a dude, what are you really missing out on if you're not dating these 304s? Well, thanks to Sean St. George, we have a great picture of what sweet revenge looks and tastes like.
Oh, here we go.
Josh, answer your phone.
No.
Babe, I'm serious. I need your help.
Hi, Sirius. I'm Josh.
I'm not kidding. Can you please help me?
Sure. What happened?
So the girls and I made it to the hotel for our girls' trip, and we're at the receptionist right now. And they said your name isn't in their system. Did you use your name or someone else's? Can you reply, please?
Fine. It should be under Jasmine's name.
Weird for you to do that, but okay. Still nothing.
Can you try under your name?
She still can't find anything.
Oh, I forgot. I canceled the hotel reservation.
What? Why would you do that? I called off a week of work for this.
That's tough.
Why would you ruin my girls' trip like this? What is wrong with you?
Why don't you tell me who you're really with?
What do you mean?
You're not on a girls' trip. You're with someone else, and you're going to tell me.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Jamal Smith, ring a bell? You really tried to use my money to fund your trip with the guy you're cheating on me with?
I'm sorry, Josh. It was a mistake. Can I come home and make it up to you? I'll leave him right now. I just need a place to stay till my flight.
About that. I canceled your flight.
What? I'm stuck here? Josh, that is so messed up. How could you?
It was easy. I just called them to cancel.
Please forgive me
Damn.
and help me get back home to you. My amazing, sweet boyfriend, I love you and I can't live my life
Oh
without
my
you.
God.
You're the love of my life.
The-
Can you forgive me and we can talk about this when I come back?
Nah, do my own thing. Block.
Toodles.
Yeah.
Wow. That was pretty good.
Out fucking standing. She not only is cheating on him, she expects him to fund her cheating on him.
And then she goes right back to the gaslighting
Yep.
and the love
You-
bombing, trying to get him to, pony up some cash. Now,
Fan I
you
am
usually
says
had to get married
Sorry, go
to
ahead.
do that.
yeah,
You
usually.
get married to blackmail a guy like that to get money to fund that.
yeah.
I wouldn't do it. Fan I am says that the new pop culture is a blank page for him. Has this happened to anybody else? Well, obviously it worked for me because I posted it and I made sure that it worked. The video was embedded on all of the sites, so it sounds like you may have a potential issue with your computer. Maybe dump your cache, dump your cookies, see what happens.
Yeah, reinstall Windows,
Yep.
redo your video drivers,
Throw your computer out the fucking
and get
window.
another computer.
Yeah. John St. George says, gents never change for a woman.
That's right.
If she actually likes you, she won't ask you to change. There you go.
Here's a few things. All right. Now, if you are a raging asshole all the time and you're used to being a raging asshole, you get with a woman and she wants you to turn raging asshole from 10 down to 6. It's not really out of the realm of impossibility.
True story.
But if she wants you to go from being raging asshole at a 10 level to a 0 level, that's a big fuck off.
You're not the same man I fell in love with.
Listen, man, every man has an asshole dial.
That's true.
That's another title. Asshole dial.
Yeah, mine's a switch. I don't have a dial. I'm just, and men are the same way as parents. We have two modes. We have watching TV and we have silverback ape. There's really nothing in the middle. Women have 14 different levels of anger. I think Tom Wilson said this is like the disappointed, frustrated, displeased, perturbed, upset, mad, enraged, livid. Come on.
Men are just like,
pick a
what
mode.
the fuck? Ah!
Pick a mode. And like you have relaxed knife hand, and that's pretty much it.
When I used to compete, I had stop and destroy.
That too.
That was it. 2 speeds.
Outcast of the Maggot people says shit, stupid, manipulative, fuel injected turbo Iacha from hell. You're not kidding. I hope she can cook though. I doubt it very much, but we're about to get into it, dudes. Cootie juices. We started with Cootie juices on your dishes to Cootie dishes. Juices are your dishes.
And we've covered this before with Gwyneth Paltrow.
In a way, yeah. Well, she had just had the vag scented candle. She didn't have food.
I know, but
made
we've
from her
mentioned yeast beer
from
before.
her snooch. Yeah. Well, here's cheese.
I'm gonna start getting sick.
Cheese.
Today is day 1 of making cheese from the human vaginal ecosystem. One of the primary genera of bacteria living in the vaginal ecosystem is called lactobacillus, and that is actually the bacteria that is used to create starter cultures for foods such as cheese and yogurt and other dairy products. So today we're going to grow some of our own lactobacilli on a nutrient agar plate, and hopefully later we'll be able to isolate those colonies and use our own bacteria to create a starter culture for our own cheese. So we used these sterile swabs to get our own samples.
Blowing up. I'm trying
I'm
to
sure you
drink
can
here.
imagine how we did that. But we are now smearing them all over the nutrient agar that's in the Petri dishes. The nutrient agar is basically a broth that's suspended in a jello-like substance, and that's what's going to give the bacteria the nutrients that it needs to grow while it incubates.
Soup.
We tried to keep everything as clean as possible, using gloves, wiping everything down, washing our hands. We don't want anything nasty growing in our kitchen. We don't really have a big fancy lab we can work out of, so this will have to do for now. We tape over our plates just to make sure that if they do fall or get dropped or anything, they don't fly open and get contaminated or contaminate anything around them. And then we label them with the date and whose they are. So after these plates have incubated for a while and we can find some visible colonies, we will isolate them on a second plate using a 3-way swab technique.
Pussy
There's medicine,
bacteria
no other
grow
room
colonies.
I don't have an incubator that we'll be able to use to keep these plates warm and toasty, but we do have an empty mini fridge. It's not going to be kept at 37 degrees Celsius, but it will be slightly warmer than room temperature. So hopefully it should only take just a little bit longer than it would in a normal incubator. I'm really excited to see how this goes, so stay tuned for more.
We'll have to check back in on this. Could you imagine the fur cheeseburger?
Is this satire?
No, they're literally doing it. Like you could say, they walked through it. Ugh.
This is disgusting. And
That's
this
disgusting.
woman in the background, that blonde there, she looks so psycho.
Well, yeah, I mean, she's got the 1,000 Kiyaka stare.
Wow.
But not to be outdone by these ladies, I decided that I was going to throw together my own personal toxic top 10 list of cooter cheeses. So let's give it a shot. Here we go. Toxic top 10 in the house. Number 10, fishy feta. Number 9, you're going to hate me for this one, tampon string cheese. Number 8, Monterey crack.
Okay.
Number 7, cream pie cheese. Number 6, Poon Parmesan. Number 5, vaginal Velveeta.
Oh my God. Great.
Number 4, Muff Munster. Number 3, Gunt Gouda. Number 2, raw dog ricotta. And number 1, gonorrhea gorgonzola. Play me off, Paul. All available at your next charcuterie. And of course, if you really like the cheese, you can make some, queef quiche.
Oh my God, that was great. That's some good comedy work right there.
Thank you very much.
I like it.
Had a little help from Jimmy Bones. Thank you very much, Jimmy, for helping me put together this list. And my wife as well came up with one. She came up with raw dog ricotta, and I really enjoyed that one. So thank you.
Oh my God, that's fucking hilarious.
And just reminded me about gorgonzola. I was like, gonorrhea gorgonzola. That's genius.
Okay.
Quite disgusting. Oh, but it doesn't end there. It doesn't end with cheese, unfortunately. We've actually touched on this before, but it bears repeating. Everyone's favorite streamer, ASMR streamer.
Oh, God.
Amaranth is getting a beer made with her vaginal yeast. They'll probably drink it, she says.
No.
I love this. At Yeast, it's all natural. It's a Polish beer company called Order of the Yonis is adding her special ingredient to their beer. Oh,
all right, now, is that a picture of her right there?
Yes, this is her right there.
All right. Now, right now, she looks top notch. 30 years, 40 years from now, you still want to be tamping into that yeast veg crap there? I don't think so.
Well, I mean, considering how much money she spent on plastic surgery, it would be unfortunate if she didn't look top notch.
Correct.
Ugh. It's hilarious. People will buy it for sure, she says. I don't know if they'll actually drink it. I mean, they'll probably drink it. The Twitch influencer has an itch that her vaginal yeast additive will give the beer a creamy but sweet taste.
Oh my God.
That's disgusting.
Nauseous. I'm getting a lump of vomit.
I didn't realize this was a Texas woman. It's just horrendous. She resides in Houston. She admitted that she had to pap smear herself before handing her smear sample to the gynecologist.
Oh my God.
They're taken to a laboratory where the bacteria is isolated, cleaned, analyzed, and multiplied. So essentially what the girls were doing with the mini fridge and the Petri dishes for their own yeasticles.
Yeasticles.
The wicked witch of the yeast has really come back to haunt me. Donut Guard says cuntage cheese. I like that. Oh.
Yeah, that yeasticles, that's going in the book.
Oh, and it gets worse. How about some bread for your fur cheeseburger?
God,
I mean,
man.
blogger. This is maybe the earliest known case. This is from 2015.
Yeah, we started talking about this back then.
A feminist blogger uses her yeast to make sourdough bread, causes uproar as social media users find her baking experiment hard to stomach. Zoe Stavry, who it's nearly impossible to find a photo of. Gee, I wonder why. She blogs as Another Angry Woman. Where we all know where angry women end up.
Yep.
She found herself suffering from a yeast infection, made the unusual decision to use the unwanted bodily fluid as an ingredient for making bread.
Well, first of all, you got to turn the conga line of penis off.
Yeah,
you won't get all of these infections.
I doubt she has a conga line of cock going for her. Just judging from what I was able to find of her, she's below average.
Oh, but women, you and I both know
she'll still have a higher body count than other dudes who rate the same. But
women only have to say yes. There's always somebody out there willing.
Yeah, you're true. True story.
I mean, they'll scratch and sniff that shit so quick.
People are going crazy in the chat, coming up with the new cheeses. What did Jimmy just say here? Labia Limburger. I love this. Stavry, who admits to having a slightly perverse sense of humor and a keenly scientific mind. Okay, Zoe, baby, if you had a keenly scientific mind, you wouldn't be a feminist, because having a scientific mind involves acknowledging reality. And anyone who believes in a wage gap or making bread out of their yeast infection,
good luck.
No, it doesn't really work out well for you. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm going to go the big fuck off.
Yeah, you have a keenly scientific mind the same way Fauci has a keenly scientific mind.
Wow.
This is just all really disturbing.
Yes, it is. Oh, using a sex aid to retrieve the yeast from her vahuha, she used it as a base ingredient for sourdough, a loaf which often takes several days for the starter dough to ferment.
Oh my God.
I love the comments here. Madness on display, hashtag sickening. There's something seriously wrong with you. I'm going to be sick. Have you thought about approaching Dragon's Den? I'm considering never eating bread again. One user said, I think you're confusing mental illness with feminism. Aren't they the same?
Well,
yeah,
now my opinion.
Holy shit. Oh man. I mean you get a sourdough, fur burger bun, you get a nice slice of Grunt Gouda, put it on top of the fur burger.
The labia Limburger. The gonorrhea Gouda.
Gonorrhea Gouda. And then sprinkle it, of course, with some special shit. Just for seasoning. Actually, knowing these ladies, they might use actual shit for seasoning.
Oh my God.
Oh, you gotta appreciate the bouquet. Oh God. Anybody else
I'm
not
starting
hungry
to get
at all?
nauseous here.
Anyone else not hungry at all?
I'm glad I ate earlier.
I know, me too.
So I'm scared. I'm scared.
It's just quite horrendous. I'm not done.
Oh no, we got more.
Oh,
you want some cinnamon rolls, Pop?
No.
I made cinnamon and I have to say, they turned out pretty
That can't be real.
Good. These are actually what I gave my husband for Valentine's Day. It's cinnamon rolls made from not only the yeast for my yeast infection, but also my breast milk. So it's really natural. And when he tried it, he noticed immediately that they tasted a little different than they normally do when I make him cinnamon rolls. And he was like, what do you do differently? It's really good. And I said, actually, it's my yeast infection and breast milk, One thing I will say is they taste almost like sourdough.
Oh,
they're a little more sour than a normal cinnamon roll would be. And I think that's due to it being yeast from my body. But overall,
God.
They're good. He likes them.
He likes them.
He did say they were different, but not in a bad way.
Oh,
not in a bad way.
That's nasty.
All right.
This is so disgusting.
Now, I love you guys.
How did
No
you
homo.
talk me into sitting in on this?
I'm just saying, I love you guys. No homo. I'm going to give you a little bit of relief,
Okay.
if I may.
All right.
Thankfully, this last chick with the cinnamon rolls is satire.
Okay.
All right,
And
thank
it's
God.
actually kind of genius. Now, I first heard about this woman because that story about the woman who sued her parents for not consulting her about being born. I was like, there's no way that a court would side with this woman. But, I kept hearing about it. And her whole idea behind this account, which is labeled very clearly as satire, because you go down to, I want to say it was in here earlier when I was looking at it. I don't know why it's not, but it's clearly marked that her account is satire. Her bio reads satire, so her posts are usually for entertainment purposes. Now, the reason why she does it is because she thinks it's fascinating that people will just share shit willy-nilly without confirming any of the facts in it. And she actually studies the analytics and demographics of people who share her videos out to see who's sharing it seriously. You know what? In current year,
I share a lot of crazy stuff that I don't confirm it. I'm like, that looks terrible.
well, I mean, if it's entertaining, if it's just for entertainment, cool.
Yeah.
But thank God there is not someone out there who actually wants to sue their parents for being born. And she even took it to the next level. She followed it up after it got news attention, and she was like, well, yeah, I know that I have kids, but I consulted a medium so that I could talk with their spirits before I birthed them. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Also, let's put out the announcement that our videos are basically demonetized. So any donations you throw at us go a long way to keep the show going. I'm just putting it out there.
And we appreciate every single one of them. We got some other good ones in here. Drew Lone Star says, have you guys seen the Google AI generated images? We were just talking about
we
that.
talked about
They are hilarious. Yeah. It's like, colonial woman with Indian, and she's like black. And
I'm sure that did happen.
Black redheads. Yeah, that's AI really knows how that works out, don't they?
It's like, how do you even get angry at something just so freaking ridiculous?
I know. It's just it's off the chain, man. Current year is, and it's just every time I think we can't possibly get worse,
there we go.
Something
We're on
else happens.
Race to the bottom of the barrel. Who can be the most debaucherous?
Yeah, like a few years ago, it was the bodybuilder who married the sex doll, and then cheated on it while it was up for repairs.
Yeah, that can't be real.
And now we got fishy feta and gunt gouda, whatever the hell it is they're making.
Cootie juices on the dishes.
Cootie juices are your dishes.
God
Eat up, dude.
Damn. That is so disgusting.
I would be pissed if a roommate did some shit like that. I would probably I'd be throwing things. I'm just saying. I'd
at least they put it in a fridge that wasn't in use. If I went to grab actual cream cheese to have a morning bagel and I found a petri dish full of somebody's festering yeast infection, I would be pissed.
There's going to be a problem. I would probably leave.
Here's a funny story right here.
Oh, okay.
When my kids were young and my ex-wife used to breastfeed, she'd do the breast pumping thing.
Oh, yeah.
And I would open the fridge and there'd be just all of these little bottles of titty milk, and I couldn't eat anything in the fridge. I'd be like, I'd open up.
There's nothing wrong with
I'm ordering
milk.
a pizza. I can't eat that. Anything stored in that box, I can't do it. I can't do it.
I can't do it, man. Can't do it.
I couldn't do it.
Well, it's just titty milk. We all drank it as kids. Well, most of us.
I
know that they went through a phase in the 60s and 70s, where they were pushing the formula really hard. And then, that they miraculously discovered the benefits of breastfeeding. No, it totally wasn't a marketing thing to get these companies off the ground. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Oh, this ought to be good here. We got some great ones in the chat from Fan I Am. Combine breast milk, and you can call it blue vein boob cheese. Or blue cheese, BLEW. You know what I mean? Mighty Mouse Malibu. I seriously regret waiting to make dinner for the Thursday vaginal discharge stream. Thanks, you best. We aim to
Oh.
please.
Mm.
Dylan Shardings and 22, and thank you. He says, God gave us teeth. Please don't give diseased bread. Ancient Sanskrit, Aryan, Lithuanian, Persian, ancient truth.
God damn.
Donut Guard, chicks making beer, we'll call it Cuntweiser.
I gotta write that.
So wrong on so many levels. I don't even want to know what they're going to do next. I would rather eat the bugs than eat the vaginal cheese, the vaginal Velveeta. It's just my personal
First of
preference.
all, with what women are doing today, by the time they're like 30, they've been exposed to like probably thousands of germs from all of the sexual partners, because each sexual partner brings germs and nastiness from all the ones that he did.
It's a whole different cocktail, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
We are dirty.
Yeah, we are dirty, man.
Yeah,
We're dirty.
I mean, just like the infections that people can get if they get bitten by a human. Like you'd rather get bit by a dog.
That's actually true.
Ugh. We are quite nasty, nasty people.
No, we had a guy when in the barracks got into a fight, at the Madigan Club. He got bit in the arm twice, and he's like, "I'll be fine."
It'll be fine.
3 days later, it was this big. It had cellulitis with that. It's really bad when you get the pink tracks that run up your arm.
That's really bad. It's blood infection.
Yeah, it was starting to turn to that. He had to go right to the Madigan.
Damn.
Get IV antibiotics, and I believe he got a company grade Article 15.
Man.
And he got it for not, seeking proper medical treatment.
Well, yeah.
Needed. So they didn't take
Dumbass.
rank or money, but he had to do extra duty for 15 days. Dumbass work, yeah.
Ugh. Well, speaking of biting humans, guys know I love movies, and I watched one of the best zombie movies I've ever seen in my life.
I hate
the other
zombie
night.
movies.
This one may change your mind on it. It's a Korean film. It's called Train to Busan. It is white knuckle intense for almost its entire runtime. The pacing is flawless. The acting is great. The situations, because they're trapped on a train with these fucking things.
What year was this made?
Like 2016.
I think I've seen it and I hated it.
Oh, well, you suck.
Because I hate zombie movies.
But the ending is great. And I didn't expect it to have like an emotional sucker punch at the end, because this is essentially the centerpiece of the film is a father protecting his daughter. And that's really the heart of the whole thing. And when that ending happens, I was like, oh shit, man. I'm imagining what would happen if it was me and my son in a situation like that. I was fucking wrecked when it was over.
Yeah, I almost walked out on that zombie movie that had Will Smith.
Oh, I Am Legend.
I Am Legend.
Well, the CGI in that was dog shit.
First of all, I sit down, and I'm expecting like a plague kind of thing. And then I'm like, this is a fucking zombie movie. And I'm literally about to get up, and I'm like, this is fucking insane. And then they're like, well, they drink blood. I'm like, all right. All right. Blood.
Did you ever see The Road?
No.
The Road's great.
The Road is amazing as
Yes.
an apocalyptic. I like the Book of Eli with Denzel.
Yeah.
But The Road is by far the best, like, father-child apocalyptic.
Yeah.
Check that out.
It was based on a Cormac McCarthy novel, and it was directed by John Hillcoat, who made The Proposition, which is probably the best Western to ever come out of Australia.
All right.
Really, really great flick. Yeah. Very, very highly recommended. Viggo Mortensen is the
That's who it is. Yep.
I mean, he was on a freaking roll there. And like after Return of the King, they were like, oh, Viggo's awesome. We need to start putting him in some stuff. He did Eastern Promises. Eastern Promises is a fucking masterpiece. And then The Road came a few years after that. I mean, he was just knocking them out one after the other. And I think just recently he had his directing debut,
all right,
which I believe starred Lance Henriksen. So.
Oh, yeah. He's been around for a minute.
Oh, yeah. I hear it's really good. And Lance Henriksen gives the performance of a lifetime as a dude who's dying of Alzheimer's.
Yeah, we have guys in the chat suggesting movies for movie night.
Suggestion for the Sunday night movie stream. The first one is Salem's Lot by Outcast of the Maggots.
I love that movie.
It's a great movie, but it's really long. It
Yeah.
wouldn't make for a great movie night because we try to keep it like 2 hours or under. The Gentleman, Sean St. George suggests. I've heard that's really good. It's Guy Ritchie's one from a couple of years ago. And Fan I Am says Warm Bodies was a pretty good movie. That's a zombie romantic comedy. Wouldn't you love to do that? Speaking of which, you heard about the new flick Lisa Frankenstein?
Yes.
Directed by Zelda Williams, Robin Williams' daughter.
Okay. Well, you say these names like I would know them.
Well, I know. I'm saying I specifically mentioned it's Robin Williams' daughter because I was like, no shit. Oh, now I got to go and watch it. I want to support the kid. So her dad, he was a class act.
We will never in our lifetime see anyone that could come close to what he could do.
Yeah. If anybody out there has not yet watched Pop's tribute to Robin Williams that we did in like season 2 of the show, give it a watch. Just bring tissues.
And the thing about when Robin Williams passed away was the fact that everyone in his family knew that they fucked up.
Yep.
And there was no, public funeral or service. They just, quietly, shamefully disposed of his body. And that really enraged me to no end.
Yep.
Like if I should ever get zeroed out, I want to have a service where everyone can come pay their respects, because it's an insult to the man if you don't do that, in my opinion. That's why we did that video. He got his fucking taps in 21.
Damn right. Might have been digital, but he got them.
But he got it.
We got a story here I can read to you guys. We wanted to keep it nice and funny tonight, and then I've been sitting on this one for a while. It is very funny. Comes to us from Travis Wolf, and he calls it the Great Tinder Experiment of 2023.
Oh, here we go.
Hope you're both well, he says. This is a story about the dating world in current year. It is for the guys who are just waking up to RP, and for guys like you two, hopefully a funny story. For context, I'm 5'7". I could afford to lose some weight. Nothing too bad. Early 30s. Worked blue-collar jobs, working on my engineering degree. All I will say, I'm halfway on the scale. I've used Tinder from early 2016 through early 2020, right before the hit. As you can guess, I never had much luck on it. Few dates, few relationships, nothing spectacular. Fast forward to a few weeks ago. I'm going to hang out with a friend, and we were at his place. Mind you, no booze was involved with this bit. A true gleep glop and floop-de-doo moment hit. My friend, let's just call him Randy, not his real name, been trying out Hinge and Tinder himself, came up with if we created a false Tinder account, see what happens. We found a random unknown male model type of guy pictures, posted that he has an MBA from an Ivy League school, had a job in sales with a major company, and was over 6 feet tall. We hit enter, and about 30 minutes later, we got to the restaurant. It already had over 15 likes. Blew our best guesses right out of the water already. So I started to swap. Started to match with women. They went from about 4 through 8 mainly. Knowing Pop, he'd give them all a 4.
You don't know me.
You don't know my story. That's good.
Yeah, dude, Meth and Dicks.
Meth and Dicks is always their story.
Yep.
He says, yeah, I actually talked to a few. But considering I will message all, only about a third I will have an actual conversation with. This surprised me at first, but I thought about it and it all became so clear. Validation. They matched, or just message him and then show him a little validation. Long story short, within 24 hours, we had about 40 matches and likes.
Wow.
Within 48 hours, cracked the 100 combo, and it only grew from there. At least Tinder is filled with women, tatted, pierced, single moms, no baby daddy in sight. I was surprised. I met about 5 women or so, mid-30s and up, that were never married and no kids. So out of that whole 100, only 5 were mid-30s and up that were never married and no kids.
Wow. Listen, hoflation is real.
Yeah. I love this. Did someone say boxed wine in Catland? This is where the interesting results played a part. With the dummy account, I put in my personality when talking to the women to see what happens. I tend to, be sweet to women, romantic and pleasant, all attributes that women say they want in a man. I had the women going crazy. Most women want to meet and actually go out. Each time I said no, for obvious reasons.
Uh-huh.
There are these two ladies, let's call them Michelle and Joanne. Both are cute, and I had a connection with both. Both were 28, at least as of typing this story. Joanne was married for 2.5 years, no kids. Cute side, I'd say 6.5 to a 7. Hard to pin down in some sense. She was innocent, but also wild. Michelle, on the other hand, solid 8. Knowing Pop, you'd still think she's a 4. Anyway, no marriage or kids. The reason I bring both of them up is this. In reality, I'm a practicing Catholic, with intentions if and when I get married and having kids. My wife has to be Catholic pre-proposal, either Catholic when I meet her or convert. The marriage will be in the church and the kids will be baptized and raised in the faith. Those are my standards. And considering I'll be paying for everything and the head of the house, I think I have a right to do that.
You certainly do.
Yes, you do. On top of that, mixed marriages, meaning interfaith and, whatnot, they're harder because of the differences there, of course. Marriages already have a high enough chance of divorce. I realize this is a big ask. That's why I put it up front.
Well, about the Christian differences.
Yeah.
Listen, at the end of the day, guy got betrayed, got fucking whipped, fucking nailed to a goddamn cross in some form and fashion. They say he raised from the dead, but maybe somebody just carried him off to eat his zombie fucking flesh and drink his blood. I'm just saying.
Yeah, Shroud of Turin disagrees with that story.
I just fucking around. This is all this comedy.
Oh, here we go. Mind you, this fake account, this guy is the top 1%, has the mark of the beast. When I told these ladies about my views on marriage and religion, they walked. For both, it was a deal breaker. That had me and my friends stumped. For some clarification, my friend is not Catholic. Joanne, the one who was married, was a Seventh-day Adventist, now spiritual. Spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that means that she just says Jesus and God when she's getting fucked in the ass behind the dumb dumpster, probably.
Yeah, I got you.
Then Michelle was Christian Reformed, which is in the same stream as Calvinism, by my understanding. The reason we came up with it is their past. They don't want to take responsibility for it and just continue on with their fun. You are correct. Maybe it is just delusion. Now, Michelle was an extraordinary case. After saying that me being Catholic was a deal breaker, we still talked. I wanted to test the water to see what she'll do. I started to flirt with her and she reciprocated, which led to us partially sexting. That in itself is a red flag. And here comes one other major one. She mentioned to me at the beginning of this year that she got out of a 6-year-long relationship. For reference, this story has been typed out around Thanksgiving of 2023. They broke it off because he wanted her to move in and she was willing to, but with more meaningful engagement.
Mm-hmm.
She followed it up by saying that he moved in with another chick a month afterwards.
Nice.
Granted, I don't know him, so I don't know his side. Then followed up her saying in those 6 years, they banged only once and he was drunk. Granted, there was, D to A and C to A action because she wanted purity. Sure.
Yeah.
He never heard her fart. There's a reason for that.
Oh, my God.
What?
Keep bringing up that.
In the back of my mind, all I could hear you two guys going 3, 2, 1. Bullshit!
Yep.
I have to admit one thing with her. She was really dangerous. Not in a threatening way or anything, but I'm like Pop. I like full German women. On top of that, I like my Russian women, and she was both. Nice. Before you guys start saying anything, you're going to hurt her feelings, hog calling and whatnot. I knew I had to be careful. Next, I'll know the governor of my little head be off and I'll be on racing. Next thing I know, the governor of my little head be off. He's drunk typing this.
Yeah, he's drunk.
So my advice to young men out there and those getting intro to the ARP, no matter what life or women throw at you, stay in your frame.
Absolutely.
Woof.
A game frame.
It's interesting. All of a sudden, they want you. Oh, by the way, I have standards. Oh, I'm done.
Well, listen, most women today are only religious when they're getting pumped in the butt. That's it. Oh, God!
Yeah. Oh, Jesus, this hurts. You're not wrong.
I'm just saying. That's going in the book of jokes, man.
Yep. I remember I was with a chick once and she kept saying, "Oh God, oh God." And I just grabbed her face and I said, "Call me Blake." She never called me God again.
I've known a lot of girls who've gotten pregnant and have said things like, "I can't do that. I'm Catholic. I'm religious."
Sure.
After the fact,
religion isn't going to stop
no
scoring when there's no goalie in the net.
It's bad news bears, baby. It's bad news bears. All right, well, it's almost it's almost 9 o'clock here. We can read some more of the chats here, and then we'll take a quick piss break and go over to New Tech. We got some hilarious freaking videos for you guys.
Yeah,
tonight.
just cover just YouTube.
Oh, you got it. I still feel bad for the dude making dinner.
What are you gonna do, man?
I don't know.
his choice.
Fan I am, Snacho cheese. I like that. Or Notch Ho cheese also works. We got the movie night suggestions here. Outcast of the Maggot People says there are many good movies coming out of studios outside of Hollywood.
Yes.
Not wrong there. Daniel Way says, in a world where one is forced to eat the bugs, a man with a German cockroach infestation will never grow hungry.
That's disgusting.
That is quite disgusting. And a movie night suggestion from Count Chad the Impaler, A Boy and His Dog. Young Don Johnson. I've never seen it.
Never seen it either.
Sounds interesting.
If it's one of those movies where the dog dies and it's a tearjerker, I hate those movies.
Oh, we love dogs. So
yeah, I hate seeing dogs suffer and die needlessly. Yeah.
Sucks, man. Sucks.
Yep.
What do we got here? Oh, we have an old Iron Riddle story here that was never read. Holy crap. Yeah, we got a couple minutes here before we hit 9 o'clock. I'll read this one to you. Iron Riddle, it's called the Aviation Fat Rant. Reference to the show Feeding the Fatness. I've been working in aviation for a long-ass time. I've participated in teams to reduce the weight of an aircraft, particularly to reduce the weight of one engine. 2 years of research, brainstorming materials, evaluations, stress tests, and new processes. We reduced the weight of an engine by 57 pounds for an engine that weighs over 14,000 pounds.
Fuck.
We spent millions of dollars to save 57 fucking pounds. Why? Because 70 to 75% of an airline's total operating cost is jet fuel.
Correct.
When you spend billions of dollars in fuel and can save 1% in fuel cost, that becomes a shit ton of money over time. Charging extra for checked bags or for fat bodies is the airline trying to stay in business by reducing weight or charging extra for people who want to pack on the pounds. When you have 300 passengers and each one takes an extra 57 pounds of baggage, ass, or both, do the math. I'm so pissed off at this bullshit entitlement right now. If I ate and drank everything that I wanted to, I would easily be 400 pounds instead of 200, but instead I use self-control and discipline to eat and drink responsibly. I've had some of these fat fornicators try to shame me for being skinny. Oh, must be nice to be so skinny. I said, dude, I only eat and drink about 1,500 to 2,000 calories a day. He actually said, I don't even eat 1,500 calories a day. Your McDonald's combo meal in front of you is over 1,500, so is that all you're eating for the day? Damn it!
I do the same thing.
What the heck?
I rarely go over 2,500 calories.
I love seeing the cognitive disconnect of these people, that these fat positive influencers on YouTube, TikTok, or like that show, My 600-Pound Life. They lie through their teeth because they're food addicts. They're just like drug addicts, and they will lie about their behavior and try to make themselves the victim constantly.
And you were talking about the airlines saving fuel, right?
Yeah.
Well, there are, I believe, was it 2 or 3 airlines out there that are going to widen the aisles.
Yep.
And give some of these fat, gravitationally challenged individuals a free seat.
I just don't get it.
They are going to burn through their money needlessly to preserve somebody's feelings. And we all know what feelings mean to reality.
Bullshit. Nothing.
Jack and shit. Yeah.
Yep. And Jack left town.
Yeah. So, yeah, reality is going to eat your lunch. It doesn't matter if you believe in it or not, or if you're whatever your feelings are. You're still going in the salad bowl. You're going to get chewed up and turn into a turd.
It's just going to create risk and increase price.
Correct.
That's it.
I got a couple more chats here. This is Donut Guard's 20th super chat. Thank you very much. He says, movie night suggestion, 6 String Samurai. Basically Fallout with rock and roll. All right.
I never heard of it.
I hadn't either. Count Jed the Impaler. Boy and His Dog is a short movie, has the same post-apocalyptic feel as the Fallout games. Pop will love the ending, but don't spoil it for him.
All right.
And last but not least, Outcast of the Maggot People. One thing that I like about Europe is their integrated train system and the ease of traveling without using an automobile or flying on a jet plane.
For now.
For now, yeah. They want their 15-minute cities so that they can
Well, first of
basically
all,
make you a slave to consumerism.
anyone who sits there, looks you in the face and go, Europe is just, they're so advanced. They're so peaceful over there.
Yeah, right.
All right. There have been wars raging across Europe forever.
Yeah.
World wars. We had the Mongols. We had the Russians, the Huns. You know, you had Nazi Germany, World War I Germany, and oh my God. I mean, the list goes on and on.
And I love being the one to point out. I was like, it's funny that, they keep referring to Europe as like this bastion of democracy and peacefulness and low gun crime and all this other stuff, none of which is true. Well, in some places it is, like Iceland, for example. But every single time they refer to these places, I always have to remind them, you do know that most of those countries are like 95% white, and most of them have more guns than we do per
And
capita.
their population is nothing compared to like our country.
Yeah. It's like, so this whole diversity is our strength thing. It doesn't work unless you actually have assimilation into a culture. Multiculturalism is a fucking cancer.
Yes, it is.
It doesn't work.
No,
I mean, I don't give a shit about race one way or another, but I love the people who just, that's all they see. And then you let them know, well, you keep referring to these countries. You do know this about them, right?
What about that racial appropriation baloney?
Yeah.
So I can't enjoy Chinese food or Japanese food?
I'm
'Cause I'm
sorry.
white?
Cultural appropriation is bullshit, especially when it's peddled by people who love to pretend they invented everything.
Correct. Listen, I love Mexican food. I always have.
Yep.
And I'm not Mexican, obviously, because I'm not fat.
They're already begging for the white farmers to come back
And
in all these places where they were stealing their land and killing them if they refused to leave.
well,
Now they're begging for them back
Yes.
because the people are starving.
Too late.
Hilarious. Like, no, fuck you. Just no.
When
You're
all
talking
is
about
you
Zimbabwe,
do,
right?
when all is you do, and this is exactly what multiculturalism does, it blends everything into a steaming pile of shit, but it creates nothing but competition because everybody's focused on a difference. So we're all in competition. Without that, there's no cooperation, there's no empathy, and because of that, you cannot function.
Yeah,
it just can't
correct.
work.
Cultural appropriation is a good thing because it actually brings us together as Americans. That's why
Yes.
they want to demonize it.
I always look at, like, when we talked about the overweight people that are going to make my baggage claims more expensive. It's like everybody talks about this. We're going to socialize medicine. No, you're not going to increase my kids' taxes to go enable shit behavior and poor fucking choices. But if you want to put something into like schools or whatever that is actually an investment into healthy eating, like how do you grow your food? How do you have the proper nutrition? Blood type diets, did like hormonal changes because there's differences. I know that. Diets that can help that growth, diets that can help the brain. Do some shit like that. That's an investment to your culture and your society progressing forward. That's fucking health. Not this
Exactly.
other fucking go eat McDonald's and I'm going to put you on fucking GQ and call you fucking fabulous. Fuck off.
I know, right? Texas actually invests more money in cancer research than our own fucking government. And why? Because the people of Texas actually voted to have a higher tax specifically for that.
Well,
it's almost like, if government actually functions the way that it's supposed to, and it doesn't become a career for insider trading, Nancy Pelosi,
just follow her
it
shit.
can be okay.
Yeah.
It's when it becomes too big for its own britches and it tries to figure out more ways to steal your money. And that's where we're at.
And whenever you're pulling at the emotional strings, you're telling me you have no logical, valid argument to sell me. That is my red flag.
Boom. There you go.
And listen, they're weaponizing our compassion and mercy against us.
Yeah. And now Whitmer in this state is trying to go after homeschooling parents. My wife was telling me that she does a homeschooling co-op with my boy every Tuesday. There was a state vehicle watching the parents drive in. And I'm like, okay, so you want to declare war on homeschooling parents. Why? Well, because for some of them, it's a front to hide child abuse. Think of the children. Think of the children that you want murdered at Planned Parenthood.
So
you Nazi anal sex having cunt.
So were they watching at your house?
No, at the co-op. They were literally watching the parents drive in, like counting them, writing down license plates. Who the hell knows?
Do the same thing to them.
Yeah.
Everyone get out, film them. Film their fucking license plate and go expect a FOIA request and a possible lawsuit.
Yep. And there's going to be letters to our senators, and I hope you brought a helmet.
Yeah.
Yes. And when they like, I'm a bit like, if you think something is amiss, it usually is. Call that shit out.
Damn right.
Be a good man. Don't be a fucking nice guy. You might have to create an adversary. You might have to create some administrative bullshit. But you know what? Deal with it.
Exactly.
Take it. It's the only way it's going to change.
Yep. We got to stop being so damn polite in the face of evil.
That's right. Evil.
They want to be the petty and I don't know you ethical and moral. Okay, we meet them on the same way. You give me paperwork, I give you paperwork.
Correct.
Boom.
Keep going back and forth.
Lord Devonshire says Digital Dave and Paul Proteus basement. All right. All right, dudes. We're going to take a quick piss break here for some Jeffrey Paul tunes, and then we're going to be meeting you over on New Tech with some fucked up but funny. And trust me when I say it is going to be worth the jump. These videos tonight are hilarious. Oh, yeah. It's going to be a good time. And we're going to get to the rest of your chats from the New Tech websites because this is where all the juicy stuff comes. We also have some new cards from Airman Fitzwell.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Don't leave. We've only just begun.
Can't wait.